stunning and complex drone attack on Russia, reaching deep inside the country, delivering both a military and strategic blow to Moscow. According to Ukrainian officials, Ukraine was able to smuggle drones into Russia, place them on trucks, and then remotely launch them to strike Russian military facilities. The strike, dubbed Operation Spiderweb, involved 117 drones and more than 18 months of planning, resulting in the damage or destruction of 41 Russian aircraft, according to Ukraine's security services. NBC News has not been able to independently verify those claims. Now, President Zelensky was in Lithuania today for a summit with European leaders and touted the operation's success.
Europe, together with America, has better weapons than Russia. We also have stronger tactical solutions. Our Operation Spiderweb yesterday proved that. Russia must feel what its losses mean. That is what will push it toward diplomacy. And when Russia takes losses in this war, it's obvious to everyone that Ukraine is the one holding the line, not just for itself, but for all of Europe.
Meanwhile, Russia and Ukrainian officials met in Istanbul today for a previously scheduled second round of direct peace negotiations. Joining me now is NBC News Chief International Correspondent Keir Simmons and Richard Haass, the President Emeritus at the Council on Foreign Relations. So, Keir, what more do we know about this attack by Ukraine and the planning that went into it?
Joining me now is a young man who dropped out of Harvard and developed the DUB app that.
Oh, well, it's stunning. You really have to just think about how big Russia is. 11 time zones. Just to give you an example, Ryan, I've been broadcasting from, the far east of Russia, in the direction that some of these attacks took place, in the evening on the East Coast, and it's been the morning in Russia. I mean, that's how far away it is, just from Ukraine, for example, thousands of miles, so far away that it looks like the Russians were not actually protecting these aircraft, despite them being precious to President Putin. These are long-range strategic bombers, nuclear capable even, and certainly have rained down horror on Ukrainian cities over many years. So for the Ukrainians, this is a victory in terms of, frankly, a humiliation of the Russians, but also a strategic, a tactical victory at least, in the sense that they say that they have hit a third of these Russian bombers. Now, I think it will take time to establish exactly how much damage there was, but they brought these trucks in like Trojan horses, clandestine, loaded with these drones, and then remotely controlled them. There were reports even that Russian truck drivers were not told, drove the trucks and were not told what they were for. This is something that the Ukrainians have proven pretty good at in many ways, targeting, for example, generals in Moscow. But this is on a different scale, and it's having a different impact.
And how is Moscow responding to these losses?
Well, President Putin is calling it terrorism. Russia is also saying that where Ukraine says that its operatives were able to leave Russia after, kind of preparing this attack, Russia says that it has made arrests. Those are the kinds of responses you'd expect. What we haven't heard so far is the kind of question of retribution that you might hear from President Putin in the days ahead. Interesting to hear President Zelensky in that clip you played there talk about that this kind of showing of strength is a way to get the Russians to the negotiating table. We will see. So far, some notable victories by Ukraine over the years haven't got Russia to the negotiating table, but then neither has the attempt by the Trump administration to kind of cajole President Putin to talk to him, and President Trump's envoy Steve Witkoff spent hours with him. That doesn't tonight appear to have had an impact either, because after talks in Istanbul, it looks like the Russians still are not offering to compromise.
Okay, Keir Simmons, thank you for that. Let's move to Richard now. Richard, were you surprised to see Ukraine carry out such a complex attack like this? And what does it tell us about Ukraine's capabilities? Are they more robust than we thought?
Well, Ukraine has been, in some ways, the principal developer new generations of drones. Indeed, militaries all over the world, not of drones, I'm sorry, of losing the word here, these technologies. And I think they're being studied all over the world.
Kahala, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Chodash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. The peace, salutation that I am doing this work in truth and sincerity in the four corners of the earth. All right. And I want to do this lesson. All right. Going into the video you just saw. All right. Hey, man, because these people are freaking delusional, you know, which just could be, bots, all right, or state-sponsored propaganda, you know. But then again, I can't fully say that, man, because you know, I've heard people in my own circle at work or, you know, being out and about. I've actually heard people in their peanut brains, think that Ukraine is winning the war and Ukraine is whooping Russia's ass and all this. What are you people watching, man? You know. But I know what you're watching. You're watching the news, okay? You're watching Fox News. You're watching MSNBC. You're watching CNN. All right? So you don't know what the hell is going on, man. You have no clue of what's going on. You don't even know what the damn death toll is, all right, over there in Ukraine and Russia. You have no fucking idea, man. All right? But recently, you had Ukraine did this drone attack, all right? And a lot of people are hyping it up. A lot of people are throwing more shit on it than what really happened. But we don't even really know what the hell happened. They're saying that Ukraine destroyed a third, all right, of the bombing fleet, all right, a nuclear bombing fleet, all right, of Russian aircraft. Okay, which if that is true, you know, that's a major hit. Because they saying that it was about $7 billion worth of damage, all right, done to these aircraft. Okay, so that would be a major hit if that's what actually happened. All right, but we don't know. It could be just a few aircraft, or it could be that third. All right. Either way, the Ukraine is pushing that bear, man. They poking the bear, man. Okay, and all this celebratory shit is fanning the flames, man. Okay, you see the comment board, who humiliated. All right, Russia is humiliated. Russia on the back foot, man. People just making shit up, man. People totally making shit up. If Russia really wanted to crush, all right, Ukraine, they could do it, man. Okay, they got nukes, all right, which would start a war, all right, a world war, okay, and the Most High is holding back these nations from even using nukes right now. All right, those nukes are going to be used for the purpose of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. Okay, so really, you nations don't even own these nukes, man. These are the nukes of the Heavenly Father, man. All right, to do judgment in the planet Earth. Okay, but Russia is trying to preserve Ukraine. All right, it ain't just a hostile takeover like America did, over there in Afghanistan, man, just bombing shit down and destroying every goddamn hole you can find. That's not what Russia is doing. All right, they have to be strategic. All right, and that's what they keep saying that Russia, all right, is attacking their civilians and all this shit, and that's fucking bullshit, man. All right, from what I've seen, all right, from real news outlets, all right, it's the Zelensky people that's out there, you know, putting the hit out on all the damn civilians. All right, they just had a bridge that got sabotaged over there in Russia, and 7 civilians died. You know, that was that was in the train under the bridge. Okay, and we all know that Ukraine orchestrated that bridge collapse. There was 2 bridges that got collapsed. Well, got demolition. You know, so these people don't know what the hell they talking about, man. And they these people. I mean, what the hell they think gonna happen if Russia uh turn it up on Ukraine? Okay, these people are eager for war. All right, but ain't gonna participate in no war, man. People full of shit. But that's what you see all on the comment board. Russia humiliated. Ukraine pulled an ace. I seen other ones saying, I guess Zelensky do got the cards. Okay, just because you had a one strategic attack when you've lost, oh my goodness, you lost freaking hundreds of thousands of men in war. You having to go take people from their families, take people out their houses, kidnap them. You got men running across rivers and lakes, all right, drowning to death, trying to avoid getting drafted, trying to avoid going to war, you know, and you fucking celebrating, all right, because you got one off, man. Okay, you the you the underdog, and you got one good layup, man. But your ass still down, all right, 9-1, all right. And so now you just hit the bully in the nose, all right. So now the bully about to tear your ass apart. At first the bully was just messing with you, you know. First he just turned you upside down, you know, with your ankles, all right, and took the change out your pocket. But then you got up and you punched him right in the nose, man. All right, so now the bully about to try to tear your ass apart, okay? And your boy Donald T, he full of shit. He said that he was gonna cut off all these nations, all right, from giving them resources. You know, he had an Edomite that was speaking to the elder brothers out there in Dallas, you know, and they asked him, you know, how you feel about Donald T. You know, he ain't really putting America first how he said he was. You know, he's still sending money to Israel. He's still sending money to Ukraine. You know, so I already knew that, man. When you seen Donald T talking that big shit, oh, we're gonna stop doing this, we're gonna stop doing that. Man, you full of shit, man. Okay, you full of shit. But it is gonna come a time, all right, where the United States, all right, NATO and the EU are gonna have a great, you know, controversy, man. All right, to the point to where, you know, those EU and other NATO nations are gonna aim their missiles on America, man. Okay, but you people are fucking delusional, man. Like, I'm just looking at the comment board. There's so many celebrations and all this shit. You know, a lot of people are gonna die. All right, after this situation, man. All right, hey, a lot of civilians might die. Okay, it's gonna be a lot more attacks, a lot more drone strikes. Okay, everybody talking about going nuclear. Uh, Russia not gonna go fucking nuclear, man. Okay, they're not gonna go nuclear. Okay, ain't nobody going nuclear. All right, until that MOTB is put out. All right, in the planet Earth, man. Okay, but yeah, man, you people are delusional, man, and you don't know the severity of war. Okay, like I said, man, they say almost it's a million death toll. All right, over there between the Russians and the Ukrainians, man. All right, this ain't no fucking joke. This ain't no laughing matter. All right, and many more are gonna perish. All right, from this Ukrainian situation, man. Now Russia gonna be like, all right, fuck it, we're gonna take the gloves off. Okay, but that's all I had. You know, I heard this lesson was edifying and shalom.